Well, one set of companies which also could be in focus is because of the fact that the government has now scrapped the 5% export duty on iron ore pellets. So let's try and understand this news a bit better with Mr. Ravi Uppal, MD and Group CEO at JSPL. Mr. Uppal, hi, good morning. How big a move could this be, and could it really help rescue issues that the steel industry is facing right now, considering there's competitive pressure from China as well?
Yeah. Well, the removal of this export duty was long overdue. Of course, right now the entire international market is in recession. So I don't think the prospects for export of pellets will be very high because, from Brazil to Canada and other countries which produce pellets, they're very fiercely competitive. But nonetheless, this step was very much required. It can help, the Indian pellet producers in a big way in the long run, not maybe in the short run because of the recessionary pressures. The India's total capacity for producing pellets is in excess of 80 million tons. A lot of them are there in the medium scale sector, and they give a lot of employment. And, today the pellet price is internationally in the range of about $70 FOB. And if you take, the 80 million tons, so this basically means the size of the Indian industry is worth about $5 billion plus. A lot of these pellets are sold in India, but it also offers us as a possibility to use low-grade iron fines, which otherwise, only create dumps of, iron fines, which are which are big environment hazard. So on every account, I think, it's a positive step. A lot of these iron fine dumps are low grade. We can beneficiate them. But we can convert them into pellets, and we can offer them in markets where people, are looking for low grade pellets and so on and so forth.
Right. Mr. Uppal, so my question to you is, from what I understand, you are one of the largest pellet merchant seller as well. How would this benefit? Is there an immediate benefit to a company like JSPL or others in the same stream, so to say?
Yeah, we have a capacity of close to 10 million tons of pellets. And, a good part of it we consume, within our own company. We use them for our arc furnace and the blast furnaces. But we also have an exportable and tradable surplus. In the last 12 to 18 months, our exports of pellets have virtually come to naught. And but I think because of two reasons. Number one, the government imposed this 5% duty, and secondly, the Indian Railway had a kind of penal freight rate on pellets. They were treating it in the same form as the iron ore fines. So I think there again, the government, if they really mean serious to help the pellet industry, they must, reduce the freight rates for the pellets in order to enable them. I think in the coming budget, I would really humbly request the railway minister to look at the freight rate which is applicable for movement of pellets up to the port, which are very
I understand, Ravi, the steel sector is in a disarray and whatever can be done needs to be done. So let me get a closing comment from you. What we picked up yesterday from market sources is that a minimum import duty is coming on the steel imports. Have you heard something? Is something coming?
I've also been just hearing there's no confirmation, so we will wait until any announcement comes to the government before I comment on that.
But is there a consideration which you are aware of, which is happening in the Commerce Ministry?
Well, this Indian steel industry is in great distress. I think it is time for the government to act to see that Indian steel industry, which is poised to become the world's second largest producer of steel, that it must be protected at this time when people, are practicing unfair competitive practices by engaging in rampant, dumping of iron products in the Indian market. So there's no fair competition. So, and the government of India, I think that they must take steps to protect the local industry against unfair competition. Otherwise, the cost could be colossal. Not only the steel industry will be affected, the mining industry as well as the logistic industry will also be affected as much. There's a cascading effect of what happens to Indian steel industry, which employs more than 750,000 of people directly.
Yeah.
I think the implication for Indian steel industry going down under are far-reaching, and I think that I'm absolutely certain that the government of India is very sensitive to the status of the Indian industry, and they will take steps to see that it doesn't go to a position from where it cannot get itself back.
We certainly hope so, Mr. Uppal. Thanks so much for joining in today and giving us that perspective. 10 seconds left to the pre-open session, though. Ravi Uppal is saying that things